हेलो गाइज, आज हामी सर्भेको अब्जेक्टिभ म्याराथन गर्छौँ। हुन त यो सबै हामीले केही क्वेसन म्याक्सिमम् क्वेसन जानेकै क्वेसन हुन्छ, तर त्यो रिपिट भएर प्र्याक्टिस हुन्छ है। हामी आज सर्भेको अब्जेक्टिभ म्याराथन गर्छौँ। द कर्वेचर अफ अर्थ इज taken into consideration if the limit of survey is more than 260 kilometers square. The difference in lengths of an arc and its subtended chord on the Earth's surface for a distance of 18.2 km is only 10 mm. Surveys which are carried out to depict mountains, rivers, water bodies, wooded areas, and other cultural details are known as topographical surveys. And mountains, rivers, water bodies, wooded areas, cultural details, सबै भनेको छ topographical surveys. Okay? Surveys which are carried out to provide a national grid of control for preparation of accurate maps of large areas is known as geodetic surveys. The main principle of surveying is to work from whole to part. Okay. Systematic errors are those errors which effects are cumulative and can be eliminated. The least count of a Vernier scale is value of one division of primary scale divided by total number of division of Vernier scale. On a diagonal scale, it is possible to read up to 3 dimensions. Short offsets are measured with an ordinary chain. The object of surveying is to prepare a map. A plumb line is a line perpendicular to level line. The angle of intersection of a curve is the angle between back tangent and forward tangent. If h is the difference in height between endpoints of a chain of length L, the required slope correction is h squared by 2L. A tape of length L and weight W kg per meter is suspended at its ends with a pull of P kg. The sag correction is L cubed W squared 24P squared. Accidental or compensating errors of length L are proportional to root L. While measuring a chain line between two stations intervened by a raised ground, vision gets obstructed. In chain surveying, tie lines are primarily provided to avoid long offsets from chain lines. In chain surveying, field work is limited to linear measurements only. A well-conditioned triangle has no angle less than 30 degrees. A plane scale is used to read 2 dimensions. Chain surveying is well adapted for small areas in open ground. The angle between two plane mirrors of optical square is 45 degree. Perpendicularity of an offset may be judged by eye if the length of the offset is 15 meter. Determining the difference in elevation between 2 points on the surface of the earth is known as differential leveling. When the bubble of the level tube of a level remains central, line of sight is horizontal. The imaginary line passing through the intersection of crosshairs and the optical center of the objective is known as line of collimation. For indirect ranging, number of ranging rods required is 4. A clinometer is used for measuring angle of slope. Planimeter is used for measuring area. The line normal to the plumb line is known as the level line. A relatively fixed point of known elevation above datum is called benchmark. The line of collimation method of reduction of levels does not provide a check on intermediate sites. During leveling, if backside is more than foresight, the back staff is at lower point. In reciprocal leveling, the error which is not completely eliminated is due to refraction. For the construction of highway, both longitudinal and cross sections are required. An imaginary line joining the points of equal elevation on the surface of the earth represents contour line. Close traverse is suitable in the survey of ponds. The constant vertical distance between two adjacent contours is called contour interval. The V-shaped contour represents a valley. The direction of steepest slope on the contour is at right angles to the contour. A straight, parallel, and widely spaced contour represent an inclined plane surface. Two contour lines having the same elevation can unite together. Contours of different elevations may cross each other only in the case of an overhanging cliff. Closed contours of decreasing values towards their center represent a depression. The angle of intersection of a contour and a ridgeline is 90 degree. In case of a double line, river contours are stopped at the edge of river. An imaginary line lying throughout on the surface of the earth and preserving a constant inclination to the horizontal is called contour gradient. Number of subdivisions per meter length of a leveling step is 200. Deviation of the actual road gradient from the proposed contour gradient of hillside involves excavation on the center line. Number of links per meter length of the chain are 5. Cross staff is used for setting out right angles. While surveying a plot of land by plane tabling, the field observations and plotting proceed simultaneously. The instrument which is used in plane tabling for obtaining horizontal and vertical distances directly without resorting to chaining is known as telescopic alidade. Plotting of inaccessible points on a plane table is done by intersection. Locating the position of a plane station with reference to 3 points is known as three-point problem. To orient a plane table at a point with two inaccessible points, the method generally adopted is two-point problem. The smaller horizontal angle between the true meridian and the survey line is known as azimuth. The vertical angle between longitudinal axis of a fully suspended magnetic needle and the horizontal line at its pivot is known as dip. Magnetic bearing of a survey line at any place varies differently in different months of the year. If the whole circle bearing of a line is 120 degree, its reduced bearing is as 60 degree east. Imaginary line passing through points having equal magnetic isogonic line declination is termed as none of these. Magnetic declination at any place does not remain constant. The zero of the graduated circle of a prismatic compass is located at south end. Whole circle bearing of a line is preferred to a quadrilateral bearing merely because bearing is completely specified by an angle. Reduced bearing is the quadrilateral bearing. If the whole circle bearing of a line is 180 degree, its reduced bearing is south. The distance between terminal points computed from a subsidiary traverse run between them is generally known as traverse base. The included angle of a theodolite traverse are generally measured clockwise from the back station. Removal of parallax may be achieved by focusing the objective and the eyepiece. Under ordinary conditions, the precision of a theodolite traverse is affected by systematic linear errors. The most reliable method of plotting a theodolite traverse is by independent coordinates of each station. The latitude of a traverse leg is obtained by multiplying its length by cosine of its reduced bearing. In a closed traverse, sum of south latitudes exceeds the sum of north latitudes, and the sum of east departures exceeds the sum of west departures. Then the closing line will lie in northwest quadrant. The operation of making the algebraic sum of latitudes and departures of a closed traverse each equal to 0 is known as balancing the traverse. If the angular measurements of a traverse are more precise than its linear measurements, balancing of the traverse is done by transit rule. The method generally adopted to contour an undulating area is tachymetric surveying. In chain surveying, perpendiculars to the chain line are set out by an optical square. Profile leveling is usually done for determining elevations along a straight line. Ranging in chain survey means establishing an intermediate point on the line. The method of finding out the difference in elevation between 2 points for eliminating the effect of curvature and refraction is reciprocal leveling. Probable accidental error in precise leveling, as recommended by international geodetic associations, should not exceed plus minus 1 root k mm. The first reading from a level station is backside. The systematic errors which persist and have regular effects in the performance of a survey operation are due to faulty instrument